Hello, I'm Steve Holland, and once again, welcome. Today I'm going to give a discussion on the use of transitions. These are the pegs that connect sentences and paragraphs to each other. The types of transitions that I'm going to talk about include pronoun agreement, repetition, contrasted elements, coordinating conjunctions, transitional markers, synonyms, derivatives, relationships between ideas, things, and people, and clauses to move forward your focus. Now, pronoun reference, you recall the definition, is that a pronoun stands for a noun. Pronouns point back to a noun within the same sentence, a previous sentence, or forward to the next sentence. Examples of pronouns are he, she, it, they, we, are, ours, them, their, just to name a few. Repetition is something called the echo effect. This is a repetition of ideas and phrases within an essay. Now, be cautious. Do not unintentionally repeat yourself, and do not over-repeat this concept. Just a few times. And consider setting it up in the introduction, following through in the main body, and definitely work for it to echo finally at the end in your conclusion. Now, contrasted elements is very useful, especially when comparing and contrasting. Examples of contrasted elements are day, night, hot, cold, fast, slow, winter, summer. By setting up an essay with these concepts within it, you are setting up expectations for the reader. Coordinating conjunctions are very, very useful, and it's important that you understand what they are. These are the words that join independent sentences to each other, forming thus a compound sentence. Coordinating conjunctions are and or nor, but yet for, and sometimes so. That's all there is. You should have no trouble learning them all. The transitional markers are these invisible words that writers sometimes forget to put in. I suppose they do because they are so easily not thought about. They are so easily skipped over as you read them. There's such things as words that illustrate. For example, to be clear, and to illustrate. They are words that add items. First, second, in the second place, then, furthermore, next, moreover, in addition, similarly, again, also, finally. Be careful that you do not write something such as first, secondly, third. Notice that secondly is out of sequence. It thus is not parallel. The words in contrast or qualify, on the other hand, nevertheless, despite the fact, still, however, instead, rather. And words that conclude or summarize are also transitional markers, such as therefore, in conclusion, to sum up, to summarize, finally, or accordingly, in other words. This is very important to put such words into your essay, for they help to make the essay flow. They help the reader to follow. They give signals to the reader that there's another point coming, that there's a conclusion coming, there's a contrast coming. You need to have them, is the point. To continue, synonyms. Synonyms help the writer substitute one word for another that is close in meaning. Be careful, as meanings can change your message, though. Examples of synonyms are difficult, hard, plump, fat, simple, easy, fortunate, lucky, fast, speedy. And as close as each of those sets of words is to each other, ever so slightly do some change the meaning of the message. Be careful. Don't just substitute for the sake of substitution. A derivation of the word is another way to use transitions. That is, a writer may use another form of the word or a derivative. Examples include benefit, beneficial, fact, factual, kind, kindness, cute, cuteness, farm, farming. They can help especially keep the focus of the essay on the message. They create a sense of tightness for the reader to follow. Some transitionals show relationships. The contrasts can be demonstrated to show how people, animals, things relate to each other. Ask yourself if something or someone is subordinate to someone or something else. Examples are teacher, student, boss, worker, worker, co-worker, city, rural, state, federal. Notice that not all those examples, such as worker, co-worker, require a subordination to someone. There's be more equal footing. The point is that these types of words show relationships. But this is a difficult concept to follow if you don't understand how to use independent and dependent clauses or subordinate clauses. The concept here is that in setting up part of your sentence with a subordinate role, you can wrap up a previous idea and in the same sentence move on to the next idea in the main clause. For example, take this sentence. While the first point is generally accepted, do you understand how that wraps up perhaps a previous point? The second point is more controversial. Moving then to focus on the second point in the next paragraph. Of course, you probably wouldn't write first point and second point. The thing is, you would put your ideas in place of those words or phrases. Once again, the first part of that sentence wraps up the previous point, while the second part of the sentence moves the reader forward into the next point that's being made. Now, how can you use these transitional pegs? You use them to create clarity and unity within an essay. They're used to almost invisibly move your ideas forward. And they are used to help readers better understand an essay's main points. Good luck. Keep working to improve your essay.